What about the reading did you think prepared you to enter the business world, and how did the preparation compare to your actual thoughts about entering the job industry?
The first chapter taught me how to change the way I learned to write emails in college, gearing it more towards employers and not professors, because the way I write it sometimes it is a little bit more casual depending on the professor, but gearing it towards an employer, it has to be professional all the time. It taught me that even though I have yet to graduate, that I can still make connections that can help me come spring semester when it is time to start applying for jobs. Another thing that is crucial is to act confident in the job you're applying for. If you don't seem confident in your ability to do the desired job, the employer won't either. It's definitely different than I was expecting it to be. However, it did give me a great insight into what to expect from the application process.
What is something you did not expect from the networking aspect of the job process?
I wasn't expecting that you could really find connections anywhere. When I was at work at Applebee's in Westminster, I made a connection to an old Mount alumni that lives nearby, and he told me about the company he works for in the marketing industry, and he told me to reach out after graduation if they have any positions open. I also have connections to old internships that I worked at my last internship, but I really didn't expect to know that like you can find connections anywhere, and it's easier to network when you really put your mind to it.
How did the reading make you change your look at your resume?
I still have my high school accreditations on my resume until reading this book. I realized that it made me seem a lot younger and more inexperienced because I had it focused a lot around what I had done in high school. I removed my high school accolades from my resume and added my college accomplishments and work experience. Although I did have work experience in there, it wasn't anything that applied to my field. Alongside changing the appearance to my resume to look a lot more professional as opposed to just a Word document that had a list of things that I had done, and that made me look like a hard worker. It also helped me to frame the wording and others better, since it helped me to know what to include in my resume regarding skills, experience, and education. The reading helped me to realize that the resume isn't just to show the employer about what I can do, but also who I am as a person.
What did you gain from learning how to write a cover letter? Had you ever had to write a cover letter before?
I had never had to write a cover letter before, with the exception of like mock-ups for classes, so the reading gave me great insight on how to write one professionally. I used to use all of the cliche openings that the book tells you not to use, like the reason for this letter is, or I hope this letter finds you well. Omitting those openings made it feel more professional and personalized when writing one for the mock interview. It also helped me to write better and understand how to describe my education and how it helped me in terms of appealing to an employer and for a position at a company.
When applying to Mount, how did you choose the person for your recommendation letter if you used one? How are you going to go about getting one in the future?
Luckily, prior to the reading, I had great connections with people that I had done internships for before. Most of my professors and some of the teachers I still had in high school. I had a recommendation letter handy from my last internship leader, and have a great relationship with him as well, so I know I can rely on him for recommendations in the future. In high school, I picked one of the teachers I had for 2 of my 4 years there, and her entire time writing the letter, she raved about my education and how any university was lucky to have me. I do, however, after reading the book, want to branch out and have recommendations from not only professional like teachers and professors, but also to have recommendations from peers, because it shows that I work well not only to the aspect of a supervisor, but also I work well with other people.
When it comes time after being offered a job, what are the things you are looking for? How did the reading teach you to deal with rejection?
For me, the options are open and endless, as I'm not restricted to any location and I'm able to move anywhere. However, once I start a family, I know that that time may come where I'm not as open. So the book definitely taught me about how to deal with negotiations and to ask for different things from different companies if the option is open to be able to negotiate. If there's another position open that I'm really looking forward to, the book taught me to, if I am offered a job from another company, to how to reach out to the company that I'm looking forward to and tell them that I've been offered another position and see if there is any chance of being a position offered there. In accepting rejection, the key is to take it with grace, and if you can, try to get notes from the employer to how to improve your candidacy for the next job if it's not at their company.
How did the reading prepare you to depart from a job, whether your choice or theirs?
The reading definitely taught me that, they always say giving 2 weeks notice, but a lot of the times in corporate industries, you want to give a bit more than 2 weeks, usually a month to 6 weeks. So that way the employer has time to fill your position and for you to train someone. While it's not mandatory that you train your replacement, it is recommended. You always want to stay on good terms with your former employer because you never know when you're going to need them for a recommendation or for a reference. In getting hired for another job. If it's their choice, definitely take it with grace. It is going to be hard, but the book told you that you are going to go through those signs of the signs of grief, anger, sadness, acceptance, all those. So whether it's your choice or theirs, take it with grace, and always try to stay on the best of terms, whether it's your choice or theirs when you're leaving a job.